This is RayD-TCG here, coming at you live in the third episode of my series Locals Deck Profiles, and here I've got my friend Mike Danforth. He is what I would call the local Dark World player. Say hi to the camera.
Hello, YouTube.
So, anyways, Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the deck that you run?
Dark World, I've been playing it for almost 2 years, and I probably say it has given me a lot of good and bad games, but every time I play, it's always a fun time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've played against you enough to know, like, our matches always seem to go to game 3. But at any rate, before we go into your deck profile, I wanna ask you. So the rumor that you've never lost a Dark World mirror match, is that true?
In a mirror match, I have never lost a Dark World mirror match, and I currently earn the crown of Dark World King, at least against all my other players that play Dark World.
I see. So, and that's a title you should definitely be proud of.
So let's start off with the Dark World.
Yes, the main deck.
We will go 3 Gentas. Obviously, to go get gates. Mostly best, probably one of the best, like newer Dark Worlds. It always gets me gates, and not once per turn to get them. We'll go with Snow, or 3 Snows. The literal search up a deck. For a certain card, like any Dark World card, I always seize it, and it's always nice to pull it off. They also have other effects. This one, if my opponent has a monster in their graveyard, I can special summon it onto my side of the field. If my opponent makes me discard. We'll go with 3 Rainbow. This is probably my deck thinner of the deck, of my higher ones, of my 5 or highers. If it's discarded, I could get 4 or lowers.
Yu-Gi-Oh players, if you're a part of my top 8, I need you up here. I need Tristan Hines, Levi Pinckney, Michael Danforth, Rohan Smile, Brad Jackson,
2 Graphas.
Christian Pace, and Joshua.
Mostly the pop and discard of 1 card from your hand. And Grapha is my pop and discard 1 card if my opponent makes me discard. Mostly the simplest one. Silva, I play 2. Silva, mostly a bring back every time I discard if my opponent discards, makes me discard this, I can send 2 cards from the top, from their hand to the bottom of the deck. Mostly, the next card is also where the hand loop comes in, which is Cerulli, which when this is sent to the discard to hand, from hand to graveyard, I can special summon it onto my opponent's side of the field, and it'll give me the chance to discard my cards in my hand to activate their second effects. That is majority of my Dark Worlds monsters. We also play the Danger Package, which we will show of Nessie's.
And that's really good for extending the Dark World combo, especially if they pick one of the Dark World monsters.
Correct. Mostly to go off of every danger, I will simplify all of them. Is if they're not discarded or sent to the graveyard, I get to draw 1 card. All the dangers has their own discard effect. Nessie lets me search out a danger from my deck to my hand. Mothman makes me draw both my opponent and myself draw 1 card and discard, which can help my Dark World and dangers time to time, which I play 2 of. And then my ones of my dangers is Thunderbird to destroy face down back row, Chupacabra to bring out dangers from graveyard to the field, Bigfoot for problem cards that are on the field, so just pop 1. and Jackalope to special out any of my dangers onto the field in defense.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I definitely like the danger package in there. It really synchronizes well with what you're running in here.
These next 6 cards are non-danger, non-dark world. It just works.
Okay, so it's basically the non-engine essentially.
Which we will do 3 gens and the 1 Ken.
Alright, so can you explain what these do here?
Gen mostly get special. Gen and Ken special out each other either or. Gen, when special out onto my opponent's side of the field, makes them discard a card. Ken, when it's sent to my opponent's field, makes me draw 2 cards and discard a card.
Right.
Which actually, with this one, it can go into Rainbow to go into my hand loop. It makes it really easy. To simplify it, it's another Cerulli. Mostly an honored danger. Catalyzer, mostly reveal this in a fiend. Yeah. And mostly I reveal one, show one, or discard the other, and I special out the other. Usually I special out this one from my level 4s and everything else. This last card is a personal preference. It's Cyber's White Hat.
Now this one I've not seen before. What does this one do?
This one is if I have 2 monsters that are the same type, which hence all Dark World is fiends. Most I can special out for free. The reason I use this one, and just a sneak peek of the extra deck, is to bring out Chaos Angel.
We all love that card. That's a good one.
But that's all my monsters for the main deck.
And now we're getting into the spells and traps.
Correct. We are playing 3 gates. I know I've seen people say 2. It's just nice to have spare gates, and sometimes the 3rd one's always nice to pop up.
And they're not once per turn, or they're soft once per turn.
Yep, they are soft once per turn. So mostly it's just reveal. Well, mostly replace the gates and then just right back into the combo. We are playing 2 Dark World Dealings.
Draw 1, discard 1 for both players, right?
Correct.
It's a very risky one.
It is, and before comments saying, well, what about lore? I prefer Dark World Dealings because every time, if I need it, it comes up clutch and I can discard, activate my Dark Worlds. Like a lore, I can't, and I also -1. And the other one, and forgive me, I don't remember the other card, but it's another 8, and sometimes I need my 8s on the board. Trade in. It's just, I prefer Dark World and Dealings, and it's searchable with snow. We are going Dark Corridor with 2. Mostly I can search out any Dark World monster and then discard a card.
It's basically the Dark World Rhoda.
Yep. I play 2 because sometimes 3 is just clunky and everything else. One
of the few Dark World cards. Notice that's if I can show the audience, that's once per turn. Funny enough.
Yep. But yeah, it's a good card, but sometimes when you have multiple, it's not good. We are going with the 1 Ascension. You mostly get Grapha Overlord, and another one is colorless, but I don't run colorless, and I'll explain that when we get to the extra deck. Just mostly I can special out a monster from hand and by discarding, or if it's in field or graveyard, I can banish. So it makes it a quick Grapha, and it's nice to bring out, and I can also bring it back if I discard a card, if I have not used it before. Archives, mostly If I discard a Dark World and I control a Dark World, I can boost up their levels by X amount of stars. So like Cerulli 1 up to 8. The other effect, if Dark World was discarded, I can draw 2 cards. It has won me a good couple of matches with it. 2 triple T's or talents. Mostly to discard that last card or to draw 2. I've tried to do the taking control of a monster. Every time I do, it's just I don't need it.
Oh wait.
Call by in this format, everybody knows what call by
You
does.
kind of need it, especially if now it's not much of a main deck staple, but I think it's safe to say that like Droll is one of the few cards that like hard counters your deck.
Yes, Droll and Shifter, I would say, is my rival too. In this format, I'm probably gonna put another Droll in the side. But for right now, for tonight, I didn't see Droll, so luckily we were able to. Everything else, side will be explaining it more. And the final card of the 41 card deck is Card Destruction.
Destruction, good card.
I have had rulings of people asking me if my opponent doesn't have no cards, does it still work? As long as one player has a hand, you can activate this.
Right.
That would be the 41 of the main. Alright, side. So let's start off with D-Shifter, and I'll explain by using Crossout.
So this is basically crossout fodder. You don't want to see that in hand if you're going first.
Correct.
Or actually, you don't want to see it in hand. Period.
Yep, it's just mostly Crossout. It's just if I see Shifter or Droll, I'll side it into game 2. And I will admit I have won mirror matches with this. I've won saved myself with Droll. The only reason Droll is not with the list right now is just because in this format, Droll in the meta in the like regional variants is really you don't really see Droll. Shifter on the other hand, let's go off a couple of lists. Let's see, Ubel, Flunderies, even Tempai to a degree runs Shifter. So I will probably put Droll back in only for locals, but just to be safe, which I will probably take out one of my next cards, Cosmic Cyclone. Probably take out one for Droll or probably something else in here. It's just right now, it's just last second building right now. Cosmic, everybody knows it's more against the Snake Eyes or Fire Kings and problem cards. I'll probably either take out one Cosmic out or my next card, Dark Roll Puppetry.
What does this one do?
This one mostly lets me banish up to 3 cards and discard a Dark World from my hand. But during that same turn, if it's been activated, I can banish this card to get one of my Banish Fiends from the Banish Zone and back to my hand. I've done it against a fellow duelist. He was playing Snake Eyes. Not today, but mostly was able to knock out his 3,000 from Graveyard and at least continue. I'll save those for the last. For my tower matchups like Raid Raptors,
Or Psychic End Punisher.
And everybody's perfect cat, Pearlies. You are, I will admit, a fellow duelist here. he wasn't here today, but Noir, if I don't get the out, let's say Dark Worlds loses to the cat. And now for the most probably hated of the format is triple skill drain.
Ooh, yeah. I think it goes without saying that card is hated.
I will say,
I don't think we need to explain it, do we?
Yeah, let's just say against Tenpai and literally against a buddy of ours. It was Senchon, Tenpai. It was just mostly Synchro Turbo. Skill Drain came in clutch, got me the win, and went 4-1 today. So,
hey, good. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
And now, last but not least, the Dark World Extra Deck. Let's see what kind of surprises we might find in here.
So, as you've seen with White Hat, we'll go with the one Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel has won me some good matches of both at locals and RayD tournament, which, if you ever are in the area of South Carolina, always hit them up.
Oh yeah, and we've got footage of the house tournament too on the channel, so please everybody go check that out.
And then we'll go with the Xyz. We are going with Coach King, number 60, and my personal little think on the deck is number 1 Buzz King. Coach King gives me three draws. 3 draws. The monsters, 800 for each. Great for time. I rarely use the other two, but I do the draw 2, discard 1, skip next draw phase. Number 60 is just Pot of Greed with -1. Number 1 is just another going second negation. Mostly just to pop and burn damage for time. Mostly, I only used it once or twice, but that's what I'm gonna. So these are my XCs. It's always nice to have them. I've used these so many times. It's might as well what you'll see out of this. So that's the XCs. The 2 boys. Fusion, Grapha Overlord. Everybody just knows this one. It's just if there's a problem card that's on there, negate it to I discard a card, mostly changes the effect, and then if this one sends to the graveyard, I can bring Grapha back from banish or graveyard. We'll go Phoenix. Mostly Nightmare Package. We do the Muckraker, IP, and Little Nine. Self-explanatory.
Oh yeah, self-explanatory. These, very good cards.
And if no one knows about Muckraker, it's just mostly a free discard and bring back. It's always a nice card to come up with. And then Ashkick Magician and Security Dragon, mostly to help the hand loop go faster. And make it quick, Unicorn, Skull Dread, and Goddess, self-explanatory. Kaiju for Goddess, free draws for Dread, and Nightmare Package.
Well, again, this is the Mike Danforth, also known as the Dark World King. Hey, Mike, I appreciate you being on this video.
Likewise.
And hopefully we'll have you on the channel again in the near future. Pass turn.